Well, I actually grew up in Iowa and I moved to Texas in 1988 for college. And I left for a couple years, but it's kind of hard to leave Texas. So I feel like I'm from here because I've been here most of my life. I grew up in the 80s, and so cover bands were huge. And I had started college and I wasn't in love with it. And I had an opportunity to play in a cover band. And so I got to do that. And, of course, I wanted to be a rock star, but doing cover bands doesn't make you a rock star. But I thought I was a rock star. And I ended up doing that for 5 years. So I was a non-traditional student when I went back to college in 88. I was 24 and a lot of experiences behind me. I saw a lot of the Midwest. I toured all around the Midwest and had a great time. And now it feels like I kind of wasted 5 years, but it is part of my story. So it was fun. I do think it helps me in a lot of ways as a pianist because I did play, 40 songs a night, and they were all different rhythms and situations with chords and stuff. And so, like, I feel like I'm able to understand the feel of especially pop music sometimes better than my classical friends can. So anyway, it serves me well. So I'm glad I did it. My stepdad was a band director. And so, we grew up going to all the concerts. And so we were all in band, of course. We had no choice in the matter. And in middle school, I tried choir, which I thought was really cool because I loved music, but in choir we had words, and in band we didn't have words. And the marriage of words and music to me was the most perfect place ever. And so my middle school choir teacher was very encouraging to me. And, when you're in a small town, again, you can feel like you're really special. And she did a great job of making me feel that way. My dad and my mom were divorced. And so I went through a lot because of that. And I feel like choir was my safe place. And so I just grew up kind of wanting to do that someday, like she did for me. My sisters were taking piano and they were older than me, but I wanted to do whatever they did. And so this amazing lady, Mrs. Birdsole, said that she would take me at the age of 4. And I think it took a lot of patience on her part. I did have attention deficit, even though back then we didn't know what that was. But sometimes she would call my mom and say, I'm keeping her longer today. And sometimes my lessons would be an hour or, however long it took me to get whatever it was that she wanted me to get. So I'm very grateful for her also as a teacher because by the time I was old enough to make the choice of whether I wanted to play piano, I was already good enough that it made sense to keep playing. So pretty much all because of her. So I used to teach at Crockett High School, which is just on the street. And I've had a lot of students who have wanted to sing after high school that are still in the area. And several of them found their way to SoCo, and I've been hearing about it. I've actually never been able to come to a concert because I always have concerts at the same time. But last last year, I saw that Lisa had posted that the accompanist had left. But then you replaced that accompanist pretty quick because then the next post said that you found somebody. And I was like, oh, darn, because I'm thinking about retiring and that would be the most perfect thing for me to do. And I've been a big fan of Lisa's for a very long time. And I've only ever been on the outside of her teaching. I've adjudicated her choirs many times, and they're always amazing and they're always having so much fun, and I can see that they love each other, and all the things that I wanted to accomplish as a choir director was what I saw Lisa doing. And so I wanted to retire from public teaching, but I didn't want to leave choir. And so this was a way that I could still stay and be a part of an amazing experience. Lisa is an amazing educator, and I like to just keep learning. All the stuff she's been doing about the voice has been amazing for me because I'm not really, I don't call myself a vocalist. I'm a pianist first. And so I've learned from her after all these years of teaching choir. I wish I could go back and take the learning that I've gotten from Lisa and apply it. Anyway, I just love to be a part of, making beautiful music. Treble choir has always been my favorite. And being with a group of women once a week is really empowering to me. So that's what brought me. I'm pretty much currently sticking with piano, but I played trumpet for 7 years. I had a really unfortunate accident, ironically. I was riding my bike and I got hit by a car. It's it's all fine now, but at the time, I had a really bad injury on my mouth, and it made it really difficult to play trumpet because my embouchure hit right where my scar was. And so, when I was a junior in high school, my dad was auditioning people to play euphonium, and I was like, I'll do it. And I was kind of joking because this instrument was as big as I was. And I started playing it and I just fell in love with it. And so I actually ended up playing euphonium. And when I started college, I did band and choir, went to a small college and piano. I was able to do all the things. So at one point I had to make a choice. So I haven't played it for a while, but I worked at SeaWorld a couple summers, and on July 4th, they let us play our instruments. And so Yamaha brought in these beautiful euphoniums. And so I did get to play it many years later, but I haven't played it since. So you wouldn't want me to play it now. He's a guitarist. He's primarily a classical guitarist. He teaches at Texas State University. And so we live in San Marcos, and we occasionally do weddings together and perform together occasionally. Pretty much he's doing his own thing now, but it's pretty awesome listening to classical guitar all day. So we have a live karaoke party where we have a live band, and all of our musician friends that play instruments switch out. We have multiple piano players and drummers and guitarists, and then we just pass the microphone and people sing, and it's pretty awesome. So my daughter is doing SoCo with me this year. So that's been a really great addition to my life because she lives in Austin, and it's an excuse for us to see each other once a week. She's got an amazing voice. So she hasn't really sung since high school. So getting her back into it has been really refreshing. She's excited.